Hello everyone, welcome back to Newton Gate Academy where we make your dreams come true. I am Arundima ma'am. Today we are again going to start a very new chapter from class 8 ICSE biology. So we are starting the class 8 series now, that is nervous system. So without any waste of time, let's quickly get into the video. So at first, let me discuss about the nervous system. What do we understand by nervous system? So nervous system is basically a network of nerves which are running throughout our body, and they are also carrying electrical impulses. As we know, there are two kinds of impulse. One is electrical impulse and one is chemical impulse. So what is chemical impulse? It is carried out by hormones. That is completely a different chapter. We'll come to it later on. Today we are going to concentrate on the electrical impulse. So the transfer of signals or the transfer of the electrical impulse throughout our body through specified neural network is termed as nervous system. The complexity of nervous system increases as we move higher in the chain or higher in the levels of organisms. So I think the introduction is quite clear to all of you. Now let's concentrate into the very basic unit. So where does this start from? This originates from the very basic portion, which is a structural and functional unit. It is the neuron. So neurons are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Each neuron are connected together to form the entire nervous system. There are sense organs, as we all know. That is, what are the sense organs? Eye, ear, nose, skin and tongue, right? All these are the 5 sense organs we know about. Other than that, there are many receptor points in our body which receives signals and also coordinates with our brain and the spinal cord. So brain and the spinal cord falls under the first type of nervous system, that is the central nervous system or the CNS. There are 2 other parts of nervous system in which we divide nervous system in are secondly peripheral nervous system, which covers all the nerves in and around in the periphery, okay, and the third one is the autonomic nervous system, which comprises of parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. For autonomic nervous system, let me give you an example. In which type of cases do the parasympathetic nervous system comes into play or the sympathetic ones come into play? The sympathetic nervous system comes into play when, suppose, due to some reason your heartbeat becomes faster. That is not a situation which should continue for a longer time, right? So you need to normalize your heartbeat rate. For that, parasympathetic comes into play. So all these I'll be discussing with you, but let's start with the first unit, that is neuron. Now let's focus on the diagram of neuron. So you can see here the parts are labeled. So how many parts can you see? The dendrites, the dendrons, the cyton or the cell body, the nucleus within it, and there is the node of Ranvier, the axon, axon terminal, synaptic node. So that is the complete structure of a neuron. Okay, there's a very common question which arises here, that whether 2 neurons are connected cytoplasmically. It's wrong. There is no cytoplasmic connection within 2 neurons. Then the next question is, then how will the signal, the electrical impulse, get transferred from the axon end to the next dendrite? Very simple. There are certain neurotransmitters, for example, acetylcholine. They are responsible for the transfer of electrical impulse from the axon ending to the adjacent dendrites. I hope this point is clear to you. So there are many neurotransmitters present which help in this transfer. Now, can you tell me why are there myelin sheath present in a neuron? If you know the answer, do write it down in our comment section. Now let me discuss this point. in a very easy manner. As you can see here, there are many myelin sheaths present throughout the axon. And I have also marked another point, that is node of Ranvier. Okay. So you can also see that there is node of Ranvier. Through the node of Ranvier, the neuron network, through the node of Ranvier, the signal gets transmitted and it is just skipping the myelin sheath portion. So that is the reason the fat molecule is there, so that the neurons can jump to the terminals of node of Ranvier and reach the other neuron quickly. So due to this reason, the nervous impulses are so quick than hormonal impulses. So that's all about neurons. If you have any doubts, any queries related to neuron, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to answer as soon as possible. Next we come to nerves. Okay. Now let's discuss about synapse. Synapse is basically the gap between adjacent pair of neurons through which the nerve impulse pass. Now let's discuss about nerves. So nerves are basically thread-like structures that emerge from the brain and also spinal cord. Nerves are responsible for carrying messages throughout our body. There are three types of nerves: sensory nerve, motor nerve and mixed nerve. Sensory nerves, they carry messages from the receptor to the brain. Motor nerves, they carry the response or feedback from the brain to the effector, and mixed nerve, they carry both sensory and motor nerves. Now we'll discuss briefly about the types of nervous system. As I told you before, there are three types: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Though autonomic nervous system is one of the part of peripheral nervous system, but I'll discuss it in the video later on. So first we start with the central nervous system. Central nervous system is also known as the central processing unit of the body. It consists of two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain. The brain is a very important and vital organ of the human nervous system. It is the control unit of the entire nervous system. Thinking, remembering, memorizing, processing a particular question, all these are done by brain. The brain is enclosed by skull. Human brain is composed of majorly three parts: the forebrain, the hindbrain and the midbrain. So the anterior part of the brain, which is the forebrain, it consists of hypothalamus, thalamus and cerebrum. The smaller and central part of the brainstem, which consists of tectum and tegment. This is the midbrain. We come to the hindbrain now. It's a central region of the brain which consists of cerebellum, medulla oblongata and pons. So this is the complete portion of human brain. Now let's focus on the other part, that is the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a cylindrical bundle of nerve fiber and associated tissue. It connects the brain to the entire body. It is mainly associated with the coordination of reflex action. Whenever there is an immediate action required to a particular reflex, then spinal cord comes into play and takes the decision on behalf of brain. That is reflex action. Peripheral nervous system. The next topic is peripheral nervous system. So basically, peripheral nervous system is the lateral part of the nervous system that connects the CNS to the entire body. PNS, it also acts on both voluntary and involuntary actions. There are two kinds of nerve fibers which fall in it. One is afferent, one other one is efferent. So now let's discuss about afferent and efferent. Afferent nervous system, it helps in transmission of the impulses from various parts to the CNS, whereas efferent, it carries the feedback from the CNS and transfers it to the effector portion. Now let's go into autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is involved in regulation of involuntary actions like respiration, salivation, digestion, all these physiological activities. There are two important types it contains. One is sympathetic nervous system, another one is parasympathetic nervous system. So I hope I've made the chapter clear to you. In brief, if you have any doubt anywhere in this portion, you can comment down in the comment section. I'll try to answer your queries. Now let's go into the top 10 questions from this chapter, and it will be completely MCQ based. So I'll quickly come back to that portion. Now let's begin with the 10 important questions as I told you before. So let's start with the very first question. So what is our first question? Our first MCQ asks for what is the primary function of the nervous system? So let me tell you the options. The options are option A, digestion, option B, circulation, option C, control and coordination, and option D is respiration. So what will be the answer? The answer is, of course, control and coordination. That is option number C. This is a very easy question. I am not discussing anymore with this question. So all of you know the answer then. Let me go to the second question, question number 2. What is the question? The question says, which part of the neuron receives signals from the other neurons? The options are axon, dendron, cell body, and also myelin sheath. Again, I am repeating the options: axon, dendrite, cell body, and myelin sheath. Yes, so what is the answer? The answer is dendrite. Option B, dendrite. We come to the third question. It says the central nervous system, that is CNS, it consists of. The options are option A, brain and spinal cord, option B, nerves and ganglia, option C, sensory receptors, and option D, motor receptors. If you know the answer, comment down your answer. So what will be the answer? The answer will be brain and spinal cord. This I have already discussed in the video. If you have not watched the video from the beginning, do go and watch the video from the beginning. We come to the fourth question. It says, which neurotransmitter is associated with mood regulation and pleasure? So what are the options? The options are serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine, or GABA. The options are serotonin, dopamine, acetylcholine, or GABA. The answer is very easy, as we all know it will be dopamine. Option number B, dopamine. The part of the brain which is responsible for regulating vital functions such as heartbeat, such as breathing, etc. is the A, cerebellum, B, medulla, C, thalamus, and D, hypothalamus. So the answer will be yes, of course, it is medulla oblongata. Sixth question is, what is the predictive covering of the axon that enhances the speed of nerve impulse transmission? The options are synapse, node of Ranvier, myelin sheath, or axon terminal. There are options. I'm repeating the options: synapse, node of Ranvier, myelin sheath, and axon terminal. The answer is very obvious, as I've already discussed this question in the video. It is none other than myelin sheath. Next question, that is number 7. Which division of the peripheral nervous system consists of voluntary muscle movement? I repeat the question. Which division of the peripheral nervous system controls voluntary muscle movements? The options are autonomic nervous system, somatic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, and lastly, parasympathetic nervous system. The answer is somatic nervous system. That is option number B. We come to question number 8. The gap between two neurons when neurotransmitters are released is known as.
Option A, synapse. Option B, neural lemma. Option C, dendrite. And finally, it's myelin gap. The options are synapse, neural lemma, dendrite, and myelin gap. The answer is very obvious. It is the synapse. I've already discussed the synapse is the gap between the two adjacent axon and dendrite, where there is neurotransmitters are present for the transmission of signal from one end to the adjacent one. We come to the next question, that is our ninth question. Ninth question says, what is the main function of cerebellum? The options are memory storage, balance and coordination, emotional control, and also visual processing. So the options I should repeat again: memory storage, balance and coordination, emotional control, and also visual processing. And the answer is balance and coordination. We have reached the very last question, that is question number 10. It says, the fight or flight response is temporarily associated with the division of which autonomic nervous system? I repeat the options: sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, enteric nervous system, or somatic nervous system. The answer is very obvious. It is the sympathetic nervous system. That is option number A. So it is a sympathetic nervous system. So here I complete all the 10 questions for all of you. If you have any doubts anywhere in the questions, do comment down in our comment section. I'll try to give response to all of you as soon as possible. So that's all for today's video. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubts anywhere throughout the content, do write down in our comment section, and also do share what are your views on this. And if you want any more video from this topic from me, also mention that in the comment section. So that's all for today. Bye bye.